On the 9th of October 2017, I went to see a groundbreaking film. It was a very unique film in that it was commemorating and celebrating a particular artist. This particular film was so special, in fact, that I had the lucky opportunity to not only see the film, but to also have a live broadcast from the National Gallery with some official question and answers from some people who got involved with the film. The director, the producer, two of the main actors, and one of the lead artists who made the film. I went to Eden Court Theatre, and when I went, the cinema was surprisingly packed. And as I went into that theatre with all those people, I was very excited to seeing that film. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I particularly excited about seeing a film about an artist? I mean, pretty much anyone can make a film about artist's life, and it's been done before in films like Mr. Turner. So what was it about this particular film that caught my interest, you may ask? Well, you probably won't believe it when I say it, but literally every single frame in this film was literally hand-painted with oil paint. Yup, you heard me correctly. This is the world's first fully painted animated feature film. And if you don't believe me, just look at this! Look! Look at this! Someone took their time with that! Well, not one person. Apparently, it was a team of 100 artists or more, and it took 6 years to make. 6 years! And for every 30 seconds of the film, that took about 5 months to make. With over 900 canvases. Oh my gosh, that's just... A new level of genius, that's what I say. So yes, I went to Eden Court to witness the UK premiere broadcast from the National Theatre for Loving Vincent. The film was directed by Hugh Welshman, it was produced by Ivan McTaggart, and featured artists, and it had help from the artists of Sarah Wimpress, who was giving out information on how the film was made from the artistic and technical standpoint. And it was incredible to find out that the animation team, they were just Van Gogh artists. They weren't trained animators at all. They had to learn animation just like that. And the film stars Douglas Booth, Ellen McCrory, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Saoirse Ronan, Aidan Turner, Jeremy Flynn, Chris O'Dowd, and more. How did they make this film, you may ask? Well, they actually got specific actors in specific costumes to make them look exactly like Vincent van Gogh's subjects from his paintings. Even going as far as to have them pose in the exact same way they would do in Vincent van Gogh's paintings. They get them in the costumes and they have them act out all the scenes. And then later on, the artists would come along and then paint every single scene in a similar fashion to rotoscoping. As an end result, they capture a style that brilliantly represents Vincent van Gogh's art style and really brings it to life. With a few strange and pretty shapes to look at, those famous lines that you'd see in the Starry Night and in some of the backgrounds, the vibrant colours, the bold lines, vibrant colours, it's exactly like seeing Van Gogh painting come to life. It's like I've entered into Van Gogh's work itself. It's amazing. It's truly a spectacle to witness. But I think I've praised the animation enough. So what about the film itself? What's the story? So this is a drama film. And the film was an hour and a half long, and yes, it is an hour and a half long of Van Gogh paintings, and it's amazing. So what about the story itself? Well, this is more of a drama mystery film, following the mystery surrounding the death of the famous painter Vincent van Gogh in 1890 France. Set in the year when Van Gogh killed himself, we follow a reporter person, or some young lad with fancy moustache, a yellow jacket, and a fedora, whose father was a dear friend of Van Gogh's, and he is sent with the task of sending a letter to Vincent van Gogh's brother. What follows is a mystery about the death of Vincent van Gogh, who he should send this letter to, as well as finding out about how great Vincent van Gogh is, how much of a genius he was, and how much of an impact he's had in the arts medium. The story would present itself in a non-linear fashion, and through the use of the aforementioned beautiful painted visuals, they would use black and white for some flashbacks to depict the dark hours of Vincent van Gogh's life, and some colourful colours for the present day, which in a way kind of symbolizes Vincent's impact, when you think about it. Oh, the main character is called Armand Roulin. Sorry. When you see this film, there is clearly so much respect and passion for Vincent van Gogh and what he did. As we witness Armand go on his journey to hand-deliver the letter to Theo, Vincent's brother, we witness him not only finding out more about Vincent's life, but also having a journey to discover more about himself. The film would go into lots of details about Vincent's complicated life, some contrasting and conflicting stories, theories, recollections, descriptions of events, and as I said before, some of the people who Vincent painted, and their opinions on the man himself. And Armand would eventually find himself spending time in Auvers-sur-Oise, where Vincent lived, painted, and died during his last year of his life. The film would go on to describe Vincent's strange personality, his complicated life, how he didn't quite fit into the crowd, how he originally struggled to get a job and was neglected by his family, and he only picked up a brush for the first time at only age 28. And yet he left behind approximately 800 paintings of portraits and landscapes, and made quite an impression, no pun intended, on some painters who didn't think of themselves as talented painters. So many artists would be inspired by Vincent's works. Despite not being an officially trained painter, Vincent van Gogh created his own style, his own unique depiction of how he sees the world around him, from the beautiful stripes of the starry night to some of the vibrant colours in most of his other paintings. The film would also confirm how he was a little bit mad and how others bullied him for it. But the film would also acknowledge that Vincent appreciated some simple beauties like flowers and the river. As we get more involved into the mystery as much as Armand is, we're finding out more and more about him. And then eventually, about a third into the film or so, we start getting involved into the controversy of Vincent's death, and how it might not have been a suicide at all. One of the residents comes up with a theory that Vincent was shot from a far distance. As if he was shot very close to the belly, the bullet would have pierced right through him and hit the wall. But the bullet didn't. The filmmakers described that they themselves were getting involved in the mystery as much as Armand was. Without giving too much away, we still don't find out that much. Well, I suppose I am spoiling it, I'm so sorry. And the filmmakers only hint at possible answers and can't quite solve a mystery that is more than 2 centuries old. In the end, and even the characters acknowledge this, that understanding Vincent as a person is challenging. But, now I believe Vincent said this himself in a letter, that perhaps the best hope of understanding Vincent is through the artworks that he left behind. Something else worth noting is the music. The heavy use of strings and piano are a perfect accompaniment for the story. And apparently, during the end credits, they also show you the actors in their full costume form, and glimpses of what they look like without the painted looks. And then there's also a song in the closing credits called Starry Starry Night. Now, I don't think I've heard this song before, but apparently there were other versions, and people have been saying that this particular song was a really lovely cover, with its fairly slow and low and somber tone. And, well, despite not ever hearing the song before myself, I think, I also really liked this song, and thought it was a fitting end. So, standing back and trying to look at it critically, if I were to nitpick on anything, there's not really anything major that springs to mind. I don't know, personally, maybe you could have explored more of what Vincent loved and appreciated in life, what compelled him as an artist, maybe? I don't know, that's just a personal nitpick. Personally, I really enjoyed the film, and I'd highly recommend the film for you as well. If you ever get the chance to see it, whether it be in an art gallery, a showing at a cinema, or whenever it comes out in DVD, go watch it, especially when you're an artist, or an art enthusiast. I'd highly recommend this film to artists and art enthusiasts, especially if you appreciate Vincent van Gogh's works. And I'd highly recommend them for Vincent van Gogh fans, not just because this is a biography of Vincent van Gogh, but literally because there are certain moments in the film where you see several paintings come to life, and you see that woman playing the piano, or you see that old man putting his hands down on that chair, or you see the postman with a big beard come to life, or you see what would it be like to live in a world where everything is a Van Gogh painting. So, watch the film, spot the paintings, play detective of the mystery, and most of all, enjoy the visuals, because personally the visuals were the best part of the film for me. All of which is a tribute to the works of a complex, talented, and tragic figure that is Vincent van Gogh. I give this film an 11 out of 12. Now, before I go, there's something else worth noting about the fact that I saw this live at the UK premiere at the National Gallery. I already mentioned the filmmaking process, and the filmmakers were thinking of making another film similar to this, but based on another artist. They were trying to describe their film as Vincent van Gogh Noir, seeing how it was a mystery film about an artist, and they were thinking of doing a similar film with that sort of painterly visual style for another artist. Some options would be terrifying, some would be really weird, and it just got me thinking, what would happen if they made a film like this based on Pablo Picasso?
Yeah, I knew Picasso. He was a good friend of mine. A revolutionary artist. You know, he's someone you could take seriously, you know.